Drake just dropped Iceman episode 2. So let's go through what he did, the process, the two new songs we heard, and what I think is coming next. What I can tell you for sure is at midnight, he'll be dropping a song with Central C, which is titled Which One, out at 12 o'clock. The first thing we have to acknowledge is that what Drake is doing has never been done before. We are watching him live stream the rollout of new music videos, and cinematic streams. The amount of logistics that have to go into this, I can't even begin to imagine. He's filming at separate locations with separate cameras, moving throughout the streets from different POVs, and he added in Central C this time. And we also saw a dancer come out for the introduction of the song. So logistically, this is extremely difficult. But it's also something that we have to admire because he's again breaking a barrier on how we listen and how people roll out music. We saw him do this with the exclusive deal with Apple back in the day, which led to the streaming era. Now we're watching him implement live streams into music videos, which is what he did on radio, but now he's doing a different version where we get visuals as well as the music. So again, this is just him being really creative and again breaking new ground for other artists that they may be able to learn from and tweak as we move on into the future and the next phase of music releases. So as we open up this video, we see Drake again in the Iceman attire. It looks like he's in a brewery. He's obviously in Manchester, so I don't know if they had access to an ice factory or some manufacturing company, but it looks like a brewery. So he's playing into the theme again. But as we step outside, we see this figure, and to me, this is Pinocchio. And Pinocchio is played on throughout the entire video. And Pinocchio is hiding. He seems to be following Drake or chasing Drake throughout the video. And to me, what this symbolizes is obviously a lie or the liar. So who do we think that that's representing, or what do we think that's representing? And why is the lie chasing Drake around throughout Manchester? I don't know. I have some theories. Obviously, the big lie that's been put upon him are the allegations made by Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. So maybe that lie is following him and maybe he wants to expose the liar. And in the song with Central C, we hear this line that he says again, all the girls who want the truth. So I don't know what he's alluding to there, but maybe this is a bigger play and maybe he's referencing what happened in the past year with Kendrick. But this is the opening scene. We get these cinematic still shots of the Manchester train station. We get the cinematic shots of the brewery or the ice factory. And then we have what's going on with Pinocchio and Drake as they move throughout the streets. And then we get some cinematic still shots. Now, if you're not into the art side of this in terms of the visuals, then this is probably a little boring and weird to you, and I understand that. But I think he's just showcasing the skill, the videography, and the cinematography that it takes to plan this. And as you move throughout Manchester, you can see, all right, he's in London. Like, this gives London Call of Duty. This gives like London video games. This is what this is alluding to. But then we get into what looks like a bathhouse or some kind of club that gives old school London vibes. And then we walk into this pool scene and we get the first glimpse of Central C. Now, Central is dressed here in what looks like Peaky Blinders attire. So Central's obviously a London boy, West London. So he's paying homage to his heritage here. And we get into the music. Now, this song was previewed at Wireless Fest 2 weeks ago, so we thought we were getting this song last Friday, but it turns out that we're getting it tonight, which gives us a full 7 days to stream the music and to talk about the music, which plays into Drake wanting that #1 record, obviously. Now, as the song starts, we get one dancer, and she has the 2 earpieces in, sort of like it's a rehearsal. And she moves to the song. It's not a traditional Caribbean kind of dance, which is what you would expect. It looked a little bit like some ballet, some jazz moves mixed in with that. So I was a little bit thrown off by the dance at first, but okay, maybe this is rehearsal. Maybe this is practice, and that's what it plays into. Central C and Drake exchange a bag. What's in the bag? People are already speculating. Maybe it's more music. Maybe it's some sort of item that he's smuggling, playing into the whole character. What is the Iceman? What is he actually delivering? Is he delivering the product to us? Is he delivering the music to us? We don't know. So the song plays. Again, it's a good song. It's a solid song. Will it work for the summer? Yes. Will it work for women? Yes. Does it have a chance to go #1? Yes. But until we hear the highest quality of it, and until I hear it outside, I'm going to spare my judgment. But right now, if you want me to give it a rating, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It reminds me of a Blem. It reminds me of a One Dance. And if you like that kind of Drake with the melodies, blah, 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 this might be the song for you. So I like the music and I like the way that they displayed it. And I'm actually mad that the song is so short. We get 2 beats and then the song is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And we get a verse from each of them. And then we get Drake on the hook, which again, he's saying, all the girls who want the truth. What does the truth mean, and how does it relate to Pinocchio in this sense? Is there a deeper meaning, or am I just picking at straws and trying to make something connect? And I do think there's a meaning to it. I don't think he puts Pinocchio in the video if there wasn't anything that was significant to it. I don't think he would do that at this time. And it's not a Drake rollout, it's not a Drake release if you don't get a preview of another song. But this song was not Drake. This was Central C. Now, Drake did this with OVO Radio, OVO Sound, where he would preview other people's songs and music so he introduces it to the world. Central C is already a global artist, but he is not yet that tier one, that S tier superstar. But he will be after this once he gets his collaboration with Drake. I think this would just connect all the dots that Central has been laying out since 2020. And we get Central C, which is on a trap beat, which is, his classic sound. And the bars there were dope. I mean, I like this song better than I like the song with Drake because I obviously like the rap part more. But again, solid song. You see Central C in a solo shot, headphones in, but we're hearing it as if Central C is listening to it. So I think this is a strong track right here. And in this final scene, we get Drake running away, and Pinocchio again is chasing him, and he chases him into this train station. He gets on the train station into the elevator, and then we hear a new song. But we hear a beat. We get the classic Drake, yeah, where we know he's about to let off some steam and let go. He's just going to let loose on the track, free flow state, and he's just going to start rapping. But we don't hear the bars. We just hear the beat. So I was anticipating that we were going to get something else here. Maybe he would kind of do what he did with the Supermax thing in the car, but we didn't get that. We got the beat, we got the word, and we got what we can imply is Drake about to go crazy on the track. And I think we're going to get this as well. And overall, I think this is him, number one, teasing music, number two, testing music, and number three, testing a new way to interact with fans. So through streaming, right? Through live releases, and people are in the chat giving real-time feedback. So I'm sure he has someone going through all those comments and then getting back to the table with the team and saying, what can we do better? What should we change? What should we tweak? And I think that's a genius way to do this because you're working in real time. If you think back to Kanye West, where he would put out these albums and then change them, even though it's been released, I see something very similar to what Drake is doing right now. It's just a different way of doing it and an easier way to get in touch with your fan base in real time and see what people think. Again, about 200,000 people were watching this on YouTube. So what's the game plan here? What's the long play here? Can Drake get an exclusive deal with YouTube to release music? YouTube already has all the videos. YouTube already has the music. YouTube already has live streaming. They already have the viewers. They already have the subscribers. So what if he could put out music directly to everyone who's subbed to his channel? What if his play in the long run is to get out of the deal with UMG, and could he sign to YouTube? It's never been done before, but we got to think bigger here. There's never been an artist of his magnitude battling it out with the label for their independence in the rap game. We've had Prince, you've had Michael Jackson, you've had other people who have went head to head with labels, but Mike and Prince didn't win. Can Drake win this? Is the long game something bigger where he disrupts the traditional music industry? That's the big play here. I hope that he's thinking bigger than just a rollout for an album. He needs to be thinking about a rollout for the rest of his career and for the rest of everyone else's career. How can you change the game in a way that no one ever looks at music the same? That's the key here. And I think he's knocking on a door, but he has to be able to execute. If you can't execute well, what good is it? So overall, music, good. I think the music was good. It was solid. The plan, good. You got people in the stream. You rolled it out to the world. You're releasing at midnight. But you have to deliver and execute. You have to keep your foot on people's necks. You need to bring in Instagram. Make sure that everyone knows what's going on with Iceman. Everything on Instagram should be a blue heart right now. Bring your fan base into this. Maybe you have a super chat with your fans who are loyal to you where they can talk directly to you. Maybe it's like a video game where they can control your actions and your moves. Think next level. I know he has a great team behind him, but think a bit deeper and think a bit bigger. And I think we're going to see the greatest or one of the greatest rollouts of all time. Let me know what you think in the comments. Iceman episode 2. Hit or miss?